Hi, good afternoon, guys. I hope you have an amazing, awesome day and everything is just blessed and that you're enjoying the frequency at the gate. I thought the last religion to do would be Hinduism, and Hinduism is not a religion I had anything much to do with. However, Jamor did take me to the temple in London, and I ended up leaving as quickly as I came in. They put me on this scale that I could hardly walk, and then they cornered me and tried to take me to a place to see these gods, and I refused, and I had an argument with them, and it went really wrong. But at that time I was seeing the darkness, and I saw the leaders there, how they were manipulating people. Hinduism has been referred as the oldest living religions, and the term Hinduism is an umbrella term covering most of the indigenous religions of the Indian subcontinent, which there were many. According to history, its origins can be traced back to the Iron Age, although this religion, like the rest, was created by the metrics. Yeah. And as we read through this tradition, we can see the hierarchy base, like the pyramid hierarchy, like all the religions, and separation introduced between the gods and the human race, where ritual offerings were used as a form of devotion to the gods. There is strong evidence as well that suggests a ritual bathing and worship of a great mother, which could be the female matrix goddess, and the use of cremation urns and a seal depicting a horn cross-legged deity, which is, very much Freemason symbolism, isn't it? The Hindu wars, the worship. I find that fascinating that their deities that they're blue color. I mean, no, sure, I understand people putting God as male with a beard, white hair, like depicting a wise man, but blue. I mean, you're depicting blatantly, God as a blue alien thing. You know what I mean? Really, in all honesty, but it's a reason why it is blue. Is the blue color is a symbolic representation of the Illuminati royal blood, or the blue blood, the sang real, isn't it in French? Hindu scriptures fell into categories distinguished by the names Sruti and Smriti, something like that. My Spanish accent is not helping me here. The term Sruti, which means that which is heard, and it's used to describe the Vedic literature, which is actually, I have read the Vedas. It's interesting, confusing, but there's some good bits, like in everything, some half truths. Vedic literature is said as to be heard by the priests and the scholars, implying that they hear the voice of the gods, or the word spoken to them through the process of revelation, which is not through the source, isn't it? It's spoken, the word. Their so-called truth was spoken to them rather than coming from the inner knowingness or telepathic communication, which is how the infinite ones or the souls communicate with us. The term Smriti translates as that which is remember, and is used to describe the remaining Hindu literature. By referring to the word remember, it is inferred that the scriptures has been compiled as a memory, a program, to be accessed by the mind via the word, because our when we speak is when we kind of like make the command, like enter, yes, press play, right? And the real truth that lies within all of us. Anyway, virtually all branches of Hinduism accept that there is a supreme creator God, Brahma, who with Vishnu and Shiva form the Trinity. So Brahma could be the male god of the matrix, Vishnu could be the matrix itself, the sun, and Shiva, which is the destroyer, the female matrix goddess. Yeah, that could be the principal Trinity. Hinduism believes in the notion of the cycle of birth and rebirth of the Atman, which is the soul, and the associated release from its endless cycle. It seeks to explain with a philosophical approach how human life fits into the universal context. Its rituals and practices aim to address three levels of relationship: person to the divine, where worshippers make their own offerings in order to develop a personal relationship with the fake god; person to person, and most interestingly, person to him or herself, creating a split of the higher self into a person and the phantom self, or the all identity, and how all of this relate in turn to the universal order of things is incredible, isn't it? Anyway, they've got something called Dharma, which they call it, or the right way, and it's a key term from expressing what Hinduism is all about. I know that the computer is this divinity clicking on it. I'm really sorry. It's just not telling her. It's not saying no to a kitten, isn't it? At least I haven't sourced it. It's the one thing I'll never sourced on earth. How to tell dominion of the, of the animal kingdom, because really we are under their dominion. At least I am anyway. The Hinduism is just saying that it's an underlying structure to our world, but one that is not manipulated by the matrix, but a higher order put in place by the source to awaken the human race, which obviously is not true. Yet we have, I mean, it is true, but not on the religion, how they say it. The idea of an eternal order, which there is an eternal order, but it's not eternal order that is specifying, was provided as a way of making humanity accept their place in the world, in the matrix. So like, this is your life, this is how it has to be, so accept it. And the fact that it has a definite hierarchy or structure governed by the gods. A person, therefore, might be required to perform rituals and make offerings to the gods. It's a form of sacrifice that are thought necessary to maintain this kind of delusional order. In the condition Hindu thought, worldly time runs in cycles, but Brahma is timeless, being the central force that keeps the cycles moving. It is said to be the eternal reality that stands behind the process of creation and destruction that characterizes the world of human experience. One of the mantras, Gayatri mantra, the Rig Veda, I mean, they've got some really good sayings. For example, we concentrate our minds upon the most radiant light of the sun god, who sustains the earth, the interspace, and the heavens. Are just all of quotes like this. You dwell in all beings, you are perfect, all pervading, all powerful, and all seeing. You are the life in all life, yet you are invisible to the human eye. So, it's revealing lots of really good things, but really it's also telling us a lie. Reading those Vedas, we can see a separation implied between the sun and the earth, where the sun is seen as a separate god to Mother Earth, one that is not one with, but a god that it says to sustain the earth. And on the other, Veda, which are read, you dwell in all beings, you are perfect, all pervading, all powerful, and all seeing, is how the matrix portrays itself as perfect and powerful, the life or the mental patterns operated to the human race, yet it states that the matrix is invisible to the human eye. It says another Veda, all living entities have different characteristics and duty that distinguish them from one another. And this phrase is correct, isn't it? If we refer to the phantom self or the all identity that have manipulated the human mind and view all living entities as separate with different characteristics. In reality, we are all one living consciousness. Hinduism is very strongly influenced by the female matrix codex and has many goddesses who represent creativity, fertility, or power. The feminine divine force represents the active power of the divine. In the Hindu school of let me see if I pronounce that right, Shaktism, she's worshipped as the supreme deity. The so-called great goddess takes on many forms. She may appear as a gentle and loving, but she may also be terrible and threatening, expressing the polarities of good and evil within the Hindu gods. The blue Hindu gods, it just cracks me up, the blue colors, like the Smurfs, isn't it? The great goddess also represents the feminine element within the self, that's the whole identity, the phantom self, that resides like a coiled serpent, a sleeping goddess at the base of the spine. This implies the serpent or phantom self associated itself to be one with, with our consciousness and portraying itself as a sleeping goddess projecting our dream world. There's a branch of Hindu philosophy known as Vedanta, developed in the ninth century, I believe, through the work of the Indian philosophy Adri Shankara, and stated that there is only one reality, even if we may experience it in different ways. It argues that human reason is limited to the objects of sense experience. That is, it's not possible to get outside or beyond the senses to see the world as it really is. It recognizes the world is an illusion, and we can only therefore experience the ultimate reality free from illusion. Um, and that's a reality that comes from an awareness that comes from the pure consciousness. Sankara suggests that there are two levels of reality, which are both false in some way: the five sense world, the matrix which we appear to see and touch around us, and the rational world, which is a view of the world according to our own preconceived beliefs and core beliefs. Those massive beliefs that we use on the record to remove them, isn't it? Whereas the five sense world is derived by the immediate interpretation of our senses of frequency decoders, because our hands is a frequency decoder, so is our eyes and our senses. The rational world is derived from our minds projecting outwards, imposing our thoughts and ideas upon others or the environment. Both of these interpretations of the world are incorrect to a point, as they are notions of the world. Therefore, Shankara stated that the world of our experience is an illusion, but not that the world it says beyond the knowledge given the senses is an illusion. The world of senses is illusion, not the other one. For Shankara, there is no separate world of the gods. This means that there is only one reality that is knowable through inner consciousness. And it is true what Shankara is saying. Because he was, sometimes they have to say some truth, isn't it, to become instrumentals in a revival of Hinduism. And to be honest, his philosophy remains a major contribution to Hindu doctrine. So basically, they give you some very good bits, but they don't give you the whole story. The idea that all religions can lead to the same God was also put forward by a very influential individual, which is Ramakrishna, 19th mystic who followed the philosophy of Advaita Vedanta as taught by Shankara. Wait a second, I need to drink some water. Nice fresh water, filter water. And Ramakrishna states correctly that when an individual comes to appreciate the divinity of his higher self, whichever religion, god or goddess they might have been devoted to, they will come to the self-realization that there is only one spiritual truth. Therefore, whatever spiritual path of faith we have previously followed, if we seek the truth with a pure and sincere heart, the path will eventually lead to infinite oneness, isn't it? Which I totally agree with that. Well, for Ramakrishna, and for those beings that are enlightened, if religions means are used as a process of internal transformation, and if the true God represents the ultimate reality, it follows that using whatever set of religions idea available, an individual can follow a journey of self-discovery that is bound to converge with all others who are on a similar quest and frequency. How many people come to the Wizard's Gate, and we are all from different backwards countries, cultures, and religions, isn't it? But we're still here. Searching for enlightenment. I personally also believe that any individual, unless blindly indoctrinated by the religion, can encounter the God within through any religion's traditions and can transcend, therefore, any external, cultural, or doctrinal differences between religions. A truly religious person should think of all other religions as paths that can lead to the same truth, instead of judging others' beliefs as misleading. Yeah, free will, people can believe what they want to believe. Instead of trying to convert people from one religion to another, each person should be accepted to follow their own path as part of a higher cosmic order and leave the awakening process to the source. Yeah, we have been gradually reintroducing the philosophical truth with old world religions, and it's doing an outstanding, as you can see, the war, and it's putting some amazing people in place to work humanity, and one of them is Amor, is me. I just keep on going, guys. I'm gonna keep on reminding, keep waking you up. Yeah. For those ones who seen the videos of Ivy, I've got a very similar energy to him. I mean, we're all enlightened beings. We are the same. We got lots of energy, and we just keep on going, telling the truth, and awakening humanity 24/7, guys. It's time to wake up. It's not tomorrow. It's not in 5 minutes. Make that decision now. Get that the right frequency, that right information. Don't waste your money on nonsense and courses, course after course. It's gonna lead nowhere. Just get into the right coaching training and get awakened and help this revolution that we are doing at the gate of waking humanity. Because I'm not sure about you, yeah, but I can't wait to be in paradise for once and for all. Yeah, now that is possibly one of my strongest burning desires. There is nothing else that I'm excited about writing this ebook on the record and writing Gary Flynn's book in a way that people can do it, and so that's really exciting. But it's nothing more exciting that all of us being in paradise, guys. This is just, and we should all have that burning desire. No reason because it's amazing, not because you're feeling bad, because it's just our essence. It's just radiating love and having fun and enjoying ourselves and enjoying our creativity and all our power infinitely and forever. That's what's around the corner. So what happens still here and now, I mean, who cares? you know the end is almost here. So guys, anyway, divinity has been driving me crazy. She's knocking everything out. I had to super clean today because she's decided to just get all the tissues from the whole house and just munch them for the whole night. I think she's been awake for the whole night. And yeah, quite a few things broken in the house when I woke up this morning, and she had this little face, really cute, like, I haven't done it, mommy. And I thought, okay, really, she is in charge. Anyway, guys, loving you unconditionally. I'm gonna get on with another video, possibly about what's gonna come in this incredible event. The reason why that came is because one of my clients said to me that she went off one of these workshops. I don't know if it was White Cloud or Freeze, or I don't know, one of the reptilians. Illuminati, which some of their courses are phenomenal. I recommend them to go because they've got some really good information. But she came to me and said to me that one of them was saying that we cannot change the belief system. And I thought, of course we can. I mean, one of the easiest things to do with the record is changing the belief system. So I'm here to prove it. So we are gonna get a nice group of people that are gonna come to the event, and we're gonna do an automated record event for the 2 or 3 weeks. So we kept on the background by me, and change your belief system. I mean, I've tested this with social media. I remember I couldn't stand Facebook and YouTube. I just couldn't. I didn't want to do social media. I just couldn't understand the platform, so just couldn't. But I knew if I want to put myself out there, I needed to use Facebook and YouTube. So what I did is I changed my belief system on first Facebook and not YouTube. And suddenly, one day I woke up and all I wanted to do was Facebook. And then I changed the belief later on YouTube. I love YouTube. And then suddenly I just love YouTube. Next one is Instagram. I highly dislike it, but I haven't changed the belief system at the moment. So, I mean, I've proven it with many people, some of my clients, but I always prove things with myself. Yes, you can set your belief systems, and I did that in one record. I didn't even need to. The same way when my dad passed away, I was in shock and tears through my eyes. I didn't expect that. Oh my goodness, a quick record, and it just took everything away. So anyway, guys, love you unconditionally. Till next video. Goodbye.